Hey everybody, Sister Fantastic here. Welcome to Palette Promenade. It doesn't look like Palette Promenade, does it? Anyway, I woke up with my eyes kind of puffy, so I wanted to use these reusable eye masks, and I just used the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe. It's adaptogens and coconut water, and I sprayed them down real good, and I just placed them on my eyes, and we're just trying to get rid of some puffiness that's there. But anyway, today, yay, we're going to go into this palette right here, the Nomad Berlin Untergrund, which is German for underground. So anyway, there was a subculture back in the day that made an uprising against everything. They were just into their own thing, and nothing could solve the problem. Politics, people in government, no leaders could solve the problem. And so the people themselves built a wall. And then in the end, the people themselves tore it down. So this palette is inspired by all of that. And it's a very nourishing palette. It has hemp seed oil in the formula. And this is the first one that I ever received from Nomad Cosmetics in a Boxy Charm. So it's kind of grungy. It represents the subculture of that day. And there's some grays and some greens. And then, of course, there's some warm, yellows and reds and browns in the middle of the palette. And you could go several different directions with this palette. So anyway, I thought that I would take a stab at that for today. I'm going to try to leave these on as long as I possibly can. So needless to say, we're doing the eyes first, and then we'll do the face last. So I'm just going to start with some eyeshadow primer. Since these eyeshadows are nourishing, they are very shiny, and there's only like 3 mattes in the palette. And so anyway, I'm just going to go in with a light hand, and because they're very pigmented, and I don't want to have raccoon eyes. Panda eyes. But I do want to feature this palette because it is so beautiful. It is not being sold any longer at Nomad Cosmetics, but you can find it. I think I found one on Amazon. There's Poshmark, places like that. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to start out with a fluffy brush. And I don't want to mix cool tones with warm tones, because then it gets really grungy really quick. So I'm kind of leaning towards the greens. So there's an olive green, there's a really bright green, there's a really pale pastel green, which is great for the inner corner. Then we have this green here. So I'm just kind of thinking along the greens. And I may put a touch of this gray in there. We'll see. So anyway, but for right now, I want to start with this bright green. It's called NDW. And I'm just going to place that in the crease. My makeup eraser is in the washing machine. Well, it's actually in the dryer, or in the basket to be folded, rather. And there's the basket right there behind me. I could have pulled it out, but I forgot to do it. So anyway, I'm going to be switching brushes today, needless to say. So there we go. We've got a nice little wash of color there. And you can see just the pigment, just from me tapping into this. Just a couple of, tap, tap. It picks up on the brush really well. And even though this palette is old, it is performing very nicely. Okay, so a light wash of color. Okay, now I want to change brushes. And I want to go in with a, let's see here. Let's try something a little bit smaller. I've got this one here. The ones I'm using today are all from Lorella. Okay, I'm going to go into this olive green next. Just this beautiful shade here. And this one is, it's got a really nice shimmer to it. But I can deepen things up. A little bit. I thought about using the warm tones in the pan. There's a really pretty brown and a red, and you can mix any of these golds, you know, with it. And this gold right here is gorgeous with it. So you see by the way that the palette is laid out, you can like work in quads, or you can work, you know, in rows, however you want to. And it's just really, it's easy for the eye to follow the color story. And I like this palette. When I first received it, I really didn't know what to do with it because I was just starting to, you know, delve into color. And to me, at that time, neutrals with a pop of color was, you know, about as adventurous as I could get. I did a lot of monochromatic looks back then. And look at that. That is just absolutely beautiful. But to mix like 3 or 4 colors together to create one look was just, you know, which is what this palette encourages you to do. It was just way out of my comfort zone. And so I didn't know what to do with it. And I can't remember now exactly what I did. I think I went into those grays and, you know, in my mind, I just couldn't figure out what to do for a transition color because they all seem so bright and so dark. There's only 3 mattes in the palette. This green one, this bright warm brown, and then this red. And I think the black is a matte too, but I didn't want to start with that. But you can, you know, you very, very well can. Okay, so now I want to go into a different brush, one with a, let's see, let's find one with a pointed tip. Let's use this one from Wing Me. Okay, let's see. I think I am going to go into that gray. It's called Techno. So that, you know, that's a shade that represented the music from that era. And I'm just going to place that like right here on this outer part of the lid. And I'm going to create like an outer V kind of a shape. Just ever so slightly right there. And we're going to use this to deepen things up. And I'm just going to smoke it up. Just slightly. Because this shade right here is so pigmented. And it can carry you away very quickly. And I love it. I think it's one of my favorite shades in the palette. Excuse me. It's got that steel, you know, grayish kind of color. And it works very well with warm tones or cool tones. But I like it better with the cool tones in the palette. Here, let me swatch it for you. That way you can see it. Look at that. It's an amazing gray color. It's not really cool. But see, it's like a duochrome. It's got like some brown in it. So it works really well with a lot of the shades in the palette. Okay, let me grab that fluffy brush and blend that out because I think I got carried away. Just soften that edge. Okay, that's better. I want to try to create a look that's kind of grungy, but not too dark. Okay, now I'm going to take a flat brush. I got a brand new one here. I'm excited about it. This came from Lorella just in this last box that I received. And I want to go into this shade. It looks like a grayish green. It's called The Wall. Anyway, I'm just going to put that on the flat brush and we're going to pop that on the lid. And see, it's just the right shade to go with these greens. To lighten things up. And I love it. I love this shade so much. And you can use it with pretty much any shade that's in the palette. Okay. And let me just work on this. The depth part of the crease. I feel like I lost that olive color. And I definitely don't want to lose it. Okay, it's not matchy, but the colors are all there. Okay. Let me go off camera and work on the rest of my face. I'm going to take these off, do my brows and my base makeup and everything. And then we'll come back and we'll work on the lower lash line. And we'll do, you know, mascara and lips and everything. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I did my face and my brows. Today I'm using the Illamasqua, it's called Hydra Veil primer. And then I use the Fenty foundation. This is Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. And this is in the shade 180. Really beautiful foundation. Perfect match for me. Then I used some concealer. I put on the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Camo Concealer. I did a lot of hydrating products today. Then I just set the concealer down under my eyes and in the T-zone with this By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. And then I set rest of the face with the OPV Beauty London Translucent Setting Powder. And then for bronzer today, I went in with the Cosmetics Mineral Glow. And it's an illuminating bronzer and in the shade 3088. Just a light dusting of that. And then for contour, I did do a little contouring today. I went in with the Alamar Complexion Trio. It's a hydrating complexion trio. And I tapped into that dark one there. And I just a little bit of contouring. The blush Today is from Eloise. It's a new one that I've kind of been stuck on. It's really pretty. It's got a light, it's just a really light peach. And it's just the right amount for those, you know, for a fair complexion. And then the Kavos highlighter. It's a luminous highlighting palette. I went in with the lightest one just at the very tops of my cheeks and the tip of my nose and my cupid's bow. And so I did my brows. I'm using the Brow Gal. This little stub of a pencil. I'm using it till it's gone, y'all. I love it that much. And now I am ready to finish the eyes. So back into the palette. And again, we're using the Nomad Berlinuntergrund, which in German it stands for underground. So this was an underground subculture that inspired this palette. Beautiful palette, nice big mirror, and 15 colors. So today we're working with the greens, and I'm going to continue with that. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use that olive green. It's called SO36, that olive green right there. And I'm going to use this little stubby brush here. And I'm just going to put this underneath the lash line. And I like this color. It's green, but it's got some light brown in it. I think that's what makes olive green olive. It's like a brownish green. And that gray had a little bit of brown in it, as you saw in the swatch. It was like a duochrome. So there is some brown like shifts in this look with the shadows that I chose. But I really never did dive into the brown. But anyway, just a little bit right there underneath. And then I think I'm going to take that gray shade. Let me find another brush. That one that I used for the gray, Techno, and I'm going to tap into that just ever so lightly. And I'm going to put that right there on that, just like that outer third. Just to kind of help that connect with what I've got on the top. I'm trying to move about where y'all can see what I'm doing. So just a little bit there, kind of grunge it up a little bit, you know, underneath the lash line. All right, and now for the inner corner, Kreuzberg, I think is how you pronounce that. It's that light green. It's a really pretty light green shade. It's got like some silver in it, or like, I don't know, it's just a really light shade. There's a little bit of, you know, of a shimmer to it, and I think it's perfect for an inner corner highlight for the looks in this palette. So I'm just leaning my head back over this mirror where I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try not to go ham with the highlighter. But I do want that little pop. And it's there. And I could swing it around and put a little bit right here under the tear duct. And then just for funsies, I can go back into that stubby brush, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to go into that bright green. It's called NDW. And we're just going to put that right in the very center. Just for a little more color. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. So that to me looks pretty nice. Okay, now I want to demonstrate this mascara for you guys. It's called Fan Fest by Benefit. It's waterproof. It lengthens the lashes, and it's a very wet formula. It's got a curved brush. And so when you're using it, you can really build up your lashes, the volume and the length, and without, waiting for it to dry. It's better since it is wet, it's better that you go ahead with the second coat while it's still wet, because once it dries, then the lashes are separated and it's hard to, work with them after that. So I like the curve of this one. It just hugs the eyelid just perfectly and gives you the ability to coat a bunch of lashes at one time. And it gets right into the roots. And then once it dries, it does not budge. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't smear. And when you go to wash your face, it doesn't come off with water. You have to use a waterproof micellar water. The cleansing balm, normal cleansing balms don't work. It gets some of it off, but not all of it. And cleansing oils don't work. It gets some of it, but not all of it. So, you have to use that micellar water. But it is such a good mascara. And I really like the waterproof formula. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a second coat. And I like to scrape off the tip because there's a lot of mascara that gathers on the tip there. So while this is still wet, I'm going in with a second coat. And this is the kind of mascara that you could actually put 3 coats on and just really build up your lashes and make it look like you have on, false eyelashes. It's a really nice mascara. I think I might have just been covering up my face. Okay, now I'm just going to take with what's left over on the brush, and I'm going to hit these bottom lashes. And as you can see, there's still a lot of product on the brush. So bam, we've got eyelashes. Okay, I'm going to try to let that dry. So, even though I didn't really try to go ham with the eyeshadows, it's still a pretty smoky, grungy kind of look. But I like it. I like the greens in this palette. I think it's very, very pretty. Okay, now let's do lips. I'm going to do like a bright red lip today. It's actually like a cool tone red, like a blue red. And it's gonna turn out to be like a pink kind of a color. This is the Crown lip pencil. You can use it on your eyes too if you want. And you see that this is very pigmented. And then the lipstick that I want to use today is called Mystery. It's part of the Fantasy Cosmetica Lost Library collection. It's very creamy. It looks matte when you open it up and take a look at it. Look at that color, y'all. It's so intense. So I'm just going to dab it on. Look at that. It's so bright. It's beautiful though. And it's got a magnetic closure. I like it. I think it came in Ice Cream Beauty box. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Anyway. So the bright red lip just kind of, you know, adds to, you know, the nostalgia of the grunge look from, you know, past eras. But anyway, I like this look. I think it's beautiful. Let me spray it down. I'm going to go in with the Item One Hit. It's an illuminating spray. So we're all about the glow today. And since I don't have to worry about the mascara running, and I don't have on false eyelashes, I can spray everything. So it feels kind of weird, me not using any kind of illuminating bronzer mixed with my foundation these last couple of times I've done my makeup. But summer is over, and, you know, that was a vibe I had for the summers, to have that bronze look. But this is my natural complexion. I am very fair complected, and I like my complexion. You know, I like the fairness of it, and it's easy to work with. You just have to get the right shades, you know, of foundation. And once you get that right, then, you know, the base, and then using a light colored blush is fun with it too. It emphasizes the fairness. So anyway, that is the look, y'all. I'm happy with it. I really like this palette. You know, a lot of people have had it and decluttered it, but I just can't let it go. It's just too beautiful to let it go. And the shadows are still working. I really want to come in with this bronze and this brown. Maybe use a little of that red, you know, and do another look with it for fall. So anyway, I did pull it out of my collection to feature it. And I hope you all enjoyed the video today. I hope you enjoyed the process. Let me know what you think about this bright lipstick. And give me a thumbs up on the video, please. Chat with me down in the comments. I'll be sure to chat back with you. I appreciate your time today. And we say thank you very much. All right. I love y'all. God bless you today is my prayer. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.